Good morning.
Good morning. I think we're on.
We are live.
We are. Hi, honey. How are you?
Good. How are you? Happy Saturday.
Happy, beautiful Saturday. I think it's hilarious that we do this now for a little bit, and every time it's like an event. It's like, we got to do this. How do we turn this on? It's an event. Anyway,
we forget after 3 weeks.
What is it?
It's like we forget after 3 or 4 weeks.
I know the gap is killing it. So welcome to everybody that has joined us today on this beautiful Saturday. We have what we think is a fun topic. So hopefully if you're joining, you are interested as well. It's buying and selling during winter time. It is a question that realtors, if you're a realtor and you're listening, you know you're going to admit it, hear it all the time. What is a good season? When should I put my house on the market? When should I buy a house, right? That is a very, very popular topic that we have to cover a lot. So we figured this is appropriate because it is winter and we are going into winter, right? Holidays, winter, and we need to, we would love to educate you guys on what's going on. And
that snow is going to be coming soon.
Snow is coming soon. And I think we have a good one. I'll be sharing a screen in a few minutes and you guys, we'll walk you through all the pros and cons of buying and selling. Obviously, I'm here to answer any of your questions about selling primarily and what's the benefit of selling your house in the winter time. And then Cass is here to talk about buying and why buyers are looking for houses right now.
Yeah, right? One of my favorite times to look in the winter.
Is it really? Are you being funny or are you serious?
No, I like winter. I think it's a beautiful time, but it's a little more challenging. But
yeah, but there's a lot of positives too. So we'll talk about that.
Yes. So before we talk,
should
we talk about our raffle we're doing today? We're going to do a little drawing during our podcast.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
I love giveaways. Like giving is such a good thing.
Let's do it. It's the best. It's the time of year to do it. Absolutely. So Distinct Home Group, we are raising money for I want to make sure I get it right, the Cleveland Food Bank. We're going to be doing we're going to try to raise $3,000 for. We are halfway to our goal. So our goal on the podcast today is if you share our podcast and then if you make a donation, we will put your name in for a drawing for a $50 Starbucks gift card. And we have someone on the back end that's going to be keeping track of everything and, making sure we get everyone that does donate.
Yeah. No, it's very cool. November, I mean, giving back feels good all the time, but especially around holidays. And when we did our research, Cass, as you know, about which fundraiser we should participate in the month of November, this one stood out like it was almost a no-brainer. There's a lot of need for it, and every dollar, makes a difference. And we really hope whoever's listening will be sharing at a minimum. If you can't donate, we totally respect that. At least share this podcast, share our posts that we have during on all our, Facebook and our Instagram portals, so people can donate with a very easy click of a button.
Yep, we're going to put the link in the comments.
Oh, perfect. So that'd be cool. That'd be a link. You can just donate. It takes literally a minute. Like I said, every dollar matters, and we want to reward you for helping us out by treating you for some coffee, because it is a coffee talk. Who does not like $50 worth of Starbucks, right? Everybody can use that. It's like, I think in my family, that would be gone in like a day. One day later.
1 or 2 trips to Starbucks with the whole family.
It's crazy. All right. Well, Cass will bring that up once in a while, but let's just dive into our topic and get it going.
I'm going to go make sure the link is there. Oh, we already got the link in there to donate, so we're good to go with that.
Awesome. And we have enough people watching at this point that can start sharing?
Yeah, we have a couple people on. We have about 3 or 4.
Okay, well, there's going to be a lot more people watching this later, so I'm just going to dive in so you guys can start listening to what we're going to get today. So let me share my screen.
Judy Hale says, good morning, ladies. Hey, Judy.
Hi, Judy. Okay. All right, Cass, can you see what I have up on the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. So benefits and tips for buying and selling during winter. As always, I'm going to just kind of go through. We prepare for these for these podcasts in a very traditional way, just to make sure it's easy for you to monitor, see what we're going through. And anything we have here, just let us know. We can email it to you. Cass and I are always available via phone to have a conversation in regards to this, but hopefully this is easy to follow. So, interesting fact that we like to always start with the facts. So if you're wondering whether houses are selling in the wintertime, over 1 million homes were sold in the US last winter. So people are definitely buying and selling houses because over 1 million houses were sold just between December and February. So in 3-month period, 1.86 million houses were sold in America.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
So their benefits. Let's talk about benefits. I'm going to read this, and Cass, please just dive in and bring your points to the process.
Yeah.
Winter brings out serious buyers. That is so true. As Cass said, there's challenges with bad weather. I mean, if there's a blizzard going on and you have a showing in your house, you better be prepared for that showing like it's the best showing ever, because they are only coming there because they're looking to buy a house. So definitely brings serious buyers. One of the things to add to it, the quantity in the winter months is not as many, but the quality when it comes down to people is very, very important. So in the spring and summertime, the way we would coach our clients when it comes down to buying and selling house is a little different than the wintertime. And because it's not the quantity, it's the quality that happens in the wintertime for real estate.
100%.
People have more time off around the holidays. So true, right? If you look at most corporate companies, most people, if you're working anywhere, look at when you're trying to, put your house, your vacation time. Usually you already get, Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, all of those. So if you look in between, there's usually a weekend, and then you can take 2-3 more days in between. And now you have a whole week off or 2 weeks off. So that's a very common time for people to really maximize their vacation. So what that means, they have more time to go see houses. So they're more free.
And more, I think, especially during our family holidays too, around that time, when you're sitting around not doing much, when you have that time off, people are on their phone, looking at houses, searching for houses. So lots more time to do that.
Absolutely. I've been in real estate for over 16 years. Cass has been over 7 years. So we're obviously the newer generation. So it's normal for us, internet, searching online. But if you do talk to realtors who've been around for 30, 40 years, I think they were definitely way, way more affected by the seasons because there was no internet. So it was definitely more, you had to get a hold of somebody and look through different books and all of that kind of stuff. So I think the internet and access has definitely changed and shifted the whole seasonal thing significantly. One of the biggest month for corporate relocation, just so you all know, is January and February, because most of the companies make their plans usually by November and then execute that plan by January, February.
Yep.
Taxes. We're not accountants, so we're not going to go to too much, but there's definitely benefits when it comes down to the mortgage interest rate, the taxes. There's benefit with writing things off, not writing things off, moving things to the other. So if you have a good accountant or CPA, we might have actually a session when we bring one. It's a good time to ask your accountant those questions to give you good guidance if it's a good idea for you to buy this year or next year. So it's not only even seasonal, but what year should you be buying a house based on your financials?
Yep.
That's a good one. So inventory, the inventory. So this comes from more for the sellers. So the inventory is definitely lower because most people do think it's a cyclical business and wait. Most people do want to not, have their house staged for holidays and enjoy holidays. So the ones that are going on the market, they are definitely more serious to move. So for buyers, it's a benefit because the seller who's listing the house is really serious to sell. So that means they're getting it ready, they're pricing it right, they're doing all of those things right. For the seller, there's a benefit. They're not competing with a lot. So in the spring, everybody in the world gets on the market. So there's way, way more competition. So if you do things right in the winter, you're actually in a better place because you're not competing with as many houses. That's it on that. Any thoughts on that, Cass? Anything you can add?
No, I agree. Right now it's such a competitive market, and we are looking at tons of houses or multiple offers. Where in the wintertime, we're going to look at those select 3 to 5 are the best ones that are on the market right now, and get to pick out of those.
Yep. Cool. How show your home or see your future homes, and just how the home looks in the winter time. So that's a good thing to see. I will tell you the benefits of spring and summertime, or anytime when there's no snow on the ground in Ohio, is you obviously see some of the things like foundation, the concrete, the patios, all of those things a little bit better. However, there's a lot of benefits seeing in the winter, because if anything's ever going to leak, it's going to leak in the winter time, because there's a lot of snow. Um, there, and there's no way for snow to go, right? There's no way to mask it. So you're actually, by seeing a house in the winter, you're almost seeing it in the most exposed way, because you're seeing how the heating works. If the house feels comfortable, you're seeing if anything is leaking, if there's a lot of icicles, that tells you there's some issues possibly with the roof. So you're seeing a lot of things that you might not see in the summertime that are a big deal for people, and some negatives that they learn in the winter if they didn't see it before.
Yeah. If you buy in the summer or spring, then it's a huge surprise and stuff you don't see during those inspection times.
Yep. Yeah. Your inspection in the winter is actually a lot more valuable, almost, because you can, your inspector can see a lot more, because it's right there. Okay. So the next thing is, as far as the loans being processed quicker, again, because there's just not as many buyers and sellers or refis or whatever, there's just ability for lenders to do their job faster.
Yeah.
I will tell you, during this particular one, if I can add specific, this isn't more general, but if I can give you for this specific year that we've had, because real estate has been so busy, I don't think it really affects, that part is not really affecting us this season. I do think the lenders are still beyond busy, and things are still taking as normal time. But in general, when winter times are slower, you can get closed done faster.
Yes.
Moving companies. So just a reminder, a lot of people, when they move, unless they have great family and can just get a truck, they have to hire movers. Movers are super big and, booked and very expensive in the spring and summertime. They're definitely more looking for work in the winter. So you can possibly get more deals, more competitive pricing, and just more availability during the winter times with movers.
Yeah.
That goes back with contractors too, right? We talked about when we talk about remodeling that, during spring, summer, everybody wants to remodel. You can't get a hold of any contractors. Wintertime, it slows down significantly for them. So it works.
Looking for the work.
What is it?
They're looking for the work in the wintertime.
They do, and they're so much more responsive and have time, and they will probably do a better job for you because they're not rushing. So moving companies are the same way. The internet has no season. So we just talked about, Cass and I are the generation of internet. So this is normal, but for those that are listening that are not thinking about it, 93% of the buyers start their search on the internet. So it doesn't really matter what season it is. They're sitting on their computers looking for houses all year long. People have babies, go through divorces, get married, deaths, any of those life-changing things happen all year long. Unfortunately or fortunately, it does not discriminate against seasons. It happens when it happens. So the right buyers are there all year long. If you look at our teams, the Distinct Home Group, if you look at our, year after year, we're probably actually busier in December, January, February than some other times. If I pulled up those numbers, because we're working, so that's a good thing. We're actually active and we're out in the field working, but it's also because we are taking advantage of this situation and knowing that this is a great time for our sellers to take advantage of to sell because they're not competing, but it's also a great time for our buyers because we're not going to be competing with as many buyers and the sellers are serious. So we are working, and we have busy months, so we sell a lot of houses in the wintertime. All right, tips for selling. Just a couple of things. We like to always talk about staging, right? So keep it cozy. So one of the things that we've talked before, when we get the houses ready for the market, we try to really neutralize them, make them not seasonal, so the pictures look not dated for whatever reason. However, one of the things that I always bring up around, especially holidays, for when it comes down to showings and people come to your home at that point. So whether you're looking to sell or you're looking to buy, you're going to be paying attention to those warm things. So keep it cozy, have the fireplace on if you're leaving specifically for that showing, decorate with warm colors, put blankets, don't go over the top. We'll talk about with your holiday decor, but adding here and there elements, people love that because they can relate to it because it puts them in that mood.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to staging for photography, it's very clean and minimalistic. When it comes down to showings and people coming, definitely keep it cozy. And the benefit with that, if you're thinking, oh, I don't want to go on the market because I can't decorate. Well, that's not true. You just have to, tone it down for pictures, but for showings, crank it up, make it as holiday-ish and as fun and as warm as possible.
Because those buyers are, when they buy in those winter months, that's not the time to go outside or be outside. You're going to be inside. They have to see themselves being inside during that winter and how cozy it is.
Yeah. And bringing emotion out, right? Yes. How important is when you walk into a house and it was prepared for you to show it to your client with those things we just mentioned. I mean, your client immediately just warms up and all of a sudden they're envisioning themselves and how they're going to live in it. So definitely make it cozy, especially around holidays for showings.
Yeah.
Make sure home exterior is still lit. So that's one of the biggest thing I always tell my clients. If you don't believe in turning your lights on the garage normally because you're trying to save on electricity, I totally respect that. But when we go in the market, especially in the winter, because it gets dark earlier, to make your house look pretty at night, leave your exterior lights as much as you can because people drive by before they even schedule showing because they want to see how your home looks.
I was out at 5:30, 6 o'clock doing showings yesterday. Mm-hmm. We saw 2 houses, and by the time we were done, it was pitch black. Very dark outside.
Did you just show any houses yesterday? Like, can you give us any examples of like a house that was lit up and decorated or anything like that, and a house that was just cold and empty? Like, do you have any comparison you can use?
So the first house, it did have a family living there. No decorations as of right now, kind of like your typical setup. No decorations. It was very clean. It was very nice, but not that cozy feeling yet. And then the second house was vacant. It was a flipped home. But they had the heat on. They had very bright lights. So they actually preferred that one as of yesterday over the first one.
Got it. So for this particular client, decorations didn't do anything. It was just more the right house and the right way.
Yeah.
Okay. But in general, a lot of times if a house has a certain feel, people definitely lean towards that.
I think if that first one had the right staging tips, probably could have felt cozier.
Got it. So they were almost like not staged properly. They had furniture, but not done right. Make sure.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so keep holiday decorations simple. We already talked about it. So decorate, but don't go over the top. Don't put every single box out. Just enough just to give it a good feel, but not overwhelming. Heat on. Okay, that's a big one, especially with vacant properties. Please, please, please keep your temperature. My advice to my clients, keep it no less, I know for those who don't like it hot, but no less than 67, 68 degrees if it's a vacant property. And obviously, if you're living in a house, make it even a little warmer. Because like you said, you're walking from cold into, so if you're walking in and the house is warm, it just immediately gives you a cozy feeling.
Yes.
Make sure your home is safe for showings and open houses by keeping walkways paved. A lot of people don't think about it. They're just maybe, removing their snow from their driveway. But if you're bringing people through the front door, your lead walk should be walkable as much as possible. Obviously, if you had a storm right there and you have a showing, you can't prevent that. But if you're planning and you know it, definitely keep it. So there's definitely a little bit more work when it comes down to those things. But the rewards when you list in the wintertime are often are better than the negatives of cleaning up some more driveways or whatever there. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So this is the last thing, and then we'll wrap up. We'll see if anybody has any questions.
Yeah.
So this is just same thing that we went over like bullet point. We have it more visual. Selling your home in the winter. So this talks about seasonal pictures. So one of the things that we do as Distinct Home Group, and if you are going to go with another realtor, make sure they do that, is if we know we have a house going on the market in January or December, honestly, all our houses are going on the market mid-November on to March. We are taking all the exterior pictures right now. So we're taking advantage of pretty fall, pretty summer, depending on how early we meet them. But exterior pictures should be taken as early as possible before winter starts. So then the buyers who are a little nervous and saying, I don't see the driveway or I don't see the patio, whatever, you have those pictures to show them. So make sure you schedule your exterior pictures either with us or with the realtor before snow starts. Limit, decorations we talked about. Turn up the heat. They're saying 74. I think that's a little too hot. I think 67 to 70 if the house is vacant is enough. It just needs to be not freezing. That's the goal. Plus, it's also not good for the pipes.
Yes.
Clear walkways, we'd already talked about. That's number 4. Add more lighting. It is definitely dark. So if your lights are normally dimmed in yellow, try to maybe change light bulbs and make them brighter. If you're leaving specifically for a showing, leave your lights on. Maybe not everywhere, but in some places, when you walk into a house and it's lit and it's warm, it just feels so much better. And the consumer, the buyers, take it in a lot better. Smell of winter. I love smells. We know, right, Cass? We always talk about
You
smells.
do.
What's really funny thing about smells? There was a realtor in our office that reached out to me about one of our listing, and he goes, "Hey, now I heard smells are very important to you, and I just saw this listing that you listed. How does it smell?" I thought that was really, really funny.
When we would check on the properties, you're like, make sure it smells good.
Yes, everybody in our team knows if they're checking on the property, if they're doing an open house, I tell them to do a sniff test and give me feedback if I'm not there, if we need to adjust anything. So I just thought it was funny he called. I think he was being funny with me, but I did answer that. It smells delicious. So smell of color, smell of winter. My favorite one during fall, winter is apple cinnamon. Everybody knows that I say that all the time. I like vanilla all year long, but vanilla, apple cinnamon, pine. So try to stick with smells that are I personally love the baking smells. So any smells you do, try to not do food smells and nothing like clean linens, nothing clean, because then it makes people feel like you're masking something.
Right.
More baking smells. Those people can relate to. Very few people don't like the smell of baking goods. So that's my advice on that. Clean exterior, we already talked about. We talked about number 8, serious buyers are out. So every showing counts. I mean, you don't understand. Every showing that we have, our clients know they need to prep, they need to do everything they need to do. We take every showing very seriously. And the benefit to our sellers is that, if we do a good job up front, we don't have to deal with a lot of showings and we can get them under contract and then we can move on and help them with their rest of their plans on moving. Less competition, we already talked about it. And price accordingly is the last thing we're going to talk about when it comes down to this, that pricing your home right is important, honestly, all 4 seasons, all the time. Yeah. You never ever want to price your home wrong because there's a lot of things. That's a whole different session. We'll talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it and all that, but you really want to price it wrong. In the winter specifically, yes, you're attracting a motivated buyer, but you're still dealing with buyers that have access to the internet, buyers that have access to realtors, buyers that have access to accountants. So on and on. People do research. So don't think that just because it's winter and there's a totally low inventory that you just need to make up a number and go with it. Price your home right. Maybe stretch it a little bit if you just feel like there's really nothing available and you have something unique, but don't go over the top or you're going to see crickets and then you're going to see price reductions very often. Yeah. And before you know it, you're not going to be happy with the final number. So that's my price talk there.
That can be a whole coffee talk itself.
It is. Yeah, I was going to say, I can talk forever about that. All right, let me stop sharing. So I think I'm done. Does anybody have any questions, comments, anything that we can answer?
So let's see. Kelly was on. So Kelly and I spoke a few weeks ago. That is one of Justin Hilton's friends who referred her. Her and I talked about she was getting her license. So she was on watching us.
Oh, good.
And
hopefully
then what's that?
So hopefully she learned something.
Right. Yeah. And then Yolanda liked and shared our post.
Awesome.
Let us know if you have any questions. I don't know if we'll have to see if anyone donated. I know Yolanda shared it. Let's see. Let's look about our giveaway. So we just got a message. Yolanda was the winner for now. I don't think there were many other participants.
Oh, awesome. Very cool. Well, Yolanda, thank you for sharing and participating. We wish more people did because obviously we want people to help out in this amazing cause. But this podcast is going to keep going. We're going to save it on our Facebook, our YouTube. So if you later on can donate, please do. It's a great cause and we really would love your participation. In general, outside of today's fundraiser, outside of today's giveaway, we are doing iPad giveaway that's going to be on the 16th, which is a Monday.
Yeah.
So if you weren't able to do it now and Yolanda won, which is awesome, congratulations. Everybody else that still donates till the 16th will be put in a drawing for the iPad that we will announce on the 16th. And then if you're not able to do by 16th, from 16th to 31st, we will announce December 1st our winner for that second half of the month of anybody that donates. So two iPads. Yep, 2 iPads will be given away for anybody that helps out. And obviously, we just gave away a $50 gift card. And that is all.
Those would make great Christmas gifts.
The iPad?
Yeah.
It's
so I think it's worth the donation too.
When we were working on this fundraiser and the giveaway, and my kids love iPads. They saw and they were like, "Can we participate?" I go, "You want to donate your money? Then yes, absolutely." Right. And they looked in their little piggy bank and they're going to give, but they're not going to win an iPad.
Right.
I should tell them that right now. I just killed their dream. we want people out there to win. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Well, it's a wrap, Cass. Thank you. It's great to see you as always. I know you have a busy day, and I do as well.
Yes. I'm a little bit of everywhere today.
I know. Me too. Me too. Well, take care. Do you have anything before I check out?
We'll see everyone next month. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving. And we will think of another good topic that we can talk about.
Sounds good. Have a great weekend.